Please welcome America's service sales coach, Joe Crisara.
Welcome to the Service MVP Podcast, the show that helps home service professionals master high-value sales, build stronger client relationships, and grow their business like never before. Join industry experts as they share real strategies that drive results. If you're ready to level up your service game, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
It's the Service MVP Podcast.
The contractors have to learn how to use Zoom. So this sounds like it would be a complete replacement for the Zoom situation, because then now everybody would have instant access. It wouldn't have to learn how to use it. It would just be use it, more or less. Does that sound like I'm on the right track here?
You're on the right track. And even better, Zoom was never intended to do remote assistance, remote help for callbacks, for sales. It's not even tuned up correctly. Here's the reason why. You got to look at it through the customer's eyes first, and then through the sales guy's eyes second. So a difference from a Zoom call or even a FaceTime call, these were never built for third-party assistance or remote selling. And it starts with the customer experience first. So if you had a guy like me with big, thick Coke bottle glasses, you're going to ask me to look at through my phone and walk around the property, right? So if it's a FaceTime call, I'd be looking at myself at the size of a postage stamp. Or on a Zoom call, I've got to download the Zoom app. I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to get on. So a text will come through. The person will tap it. It instantly lights up the camera, and then they can see themselves large and the salesperson small. And also for the salesperson, it puts a virtual background with their logos behind it, because they want some of our guys sell from properties, sell from their truck, and they want to make sure they're presenting themselves as professionally as possible. While that's going on, everything's being recorded into the cloud. You can take remote photos, high resolution, remotely. Like, hold still, let me take a picture of that. And it'll go right to the cloud. Nothing is ever stored on your phone or on a customer phone. I'm guaranteeing most everyone listening, if you go into their photo file right now, they got pictures of all their jobs in there, right? That is a liability. If you lose your phone or your staff member quits, it's terrible. So all of those recordings now get centralized into a cloud that's SOC 2 certified, meaning we do stuff with Department of Defense and our government, so it's safer than a phone call. And now what you have is an instant replay for your business, right? It keeps your team accountable. It also covers your butt. Like, have you ever gone out and the customer was like, well, the sales guy said that not only were they doing the water heater, that they were going to do the disposal for free. Like, no, let me check the record. No. It didn't say we're happy to do the disposal as well. But there's that. Also, they could say like, oh, your guy put a bunch of marks on my wall when they were fixing the toilet. You're like, see this recording when we hadn't even been on property yet? The marks were already there before we got there. Yeah. So, and then when the guy gets on, when your technician gets on property, now they can do a pre-walk around video, a post, and then a customer testimonial. See, video just starts working all the way through your entire business, because you can take those videos and put it in your Google business profile. Google loves seeing real photos. You can update your website with it. You could share it with a spouse. Maybe it's a big commercial job, or and you have to show other partners. It gets weird.
I think one of the biggest things is that there's so many more remote homeowners that don't live on the property, who have that they're not around, that they leave to go in the place, but you need to call them while they're at the office and explain the solution. Now, you're saying you can also screen share, so if you have a presentation of prices or whatever, you can show that as well too?
Yep, you screen share. The entire session gets recorded. If they have to share it with their spouse, you can even take remote photos. If you need a picture of their license, you're closing the job there and helping with that follow-up process, right? Less trips in the truck. You still are going to go out. I'm not saying this is going to replace going out, but it does help with those follow-up pieces, especially like if someone is working in the office and not on property. You can say, hey, when you get home tonight, I'm going to send you a text now, but when you get at home, just go ahead and click that text and take a video of the work you want done. Because your technicians and salespeople probably don't like to work during dinner time, but that's when that homeowner is going to be there and they have lots of money. So now they're taking that video, which your salesperson can watch in the morning, call the person when they're at the office and that next day and say, hey, yep, I watched your video. Looks like I need to get out on property there and do some measurements, or it looks like that's a small job. It's only going to cost you about $400 and we can book that now. So it's all just thoughtfully designed.
There's so many different ways to apply this technology it boggles the mind. The consumer and the initial order and providing sort of a context of what the problem is there. Number two, I got one for you that might be something you haven't heard. Let me see if I'll challenge you here a little bit,
Please.
James. It's have you heard of the trend called call by call management? Have you heard of that?
No, help me out.
Oh, here it is. So a manager is watching and monitoring 5 service technicians or 7 service technicians to make sure that they get to look at the problem in the field to make sure that they're writing down or documenting the diagnostic correctly. And they have 5 service techs they're trying to, and it's always been a problem on the Zoom problem because we have it on Zoom, but it's like you can't switch back and forth like you'd like to on this. This sounds like it's much more nimble and easy to move. And so the call by call management, I can see how actually I'm going to be calling you after this because I think I'm going to be putting this into our call by call training. I can already see how you can communicate much more effectively with your internal staff, like the thing with the garbage can thing falling over, you mentioned, would be a great way to be able to communicate internally. And then we can then in turn communicate with a client too at the same time to make sure that we can communicate with them if they're not around. A lot of times we have a single spouse and we have the other person at work. And so I can see number one, the call by call manager or leader monitoring the situation with each one of his team members. Let's just start there. Is that something that is a reality?
Oh, 100%. I just didn't know the term call by call. So what happens a lot is with our
I just gave
folks.
you another marketing channel.
Oh,
I hope you know that.
thank you. What a great.
If you mentioned call by call management with this thing, because people are using like Slack and other goofy things that don't like Zoom and Slack and things like that. This is like the answer. This is it right here.
Yeah, and
right?
think about it this way too. So imagine I've got 5 jobs going on and I'm the call by call manager, right? I got to prioritize the person that needs work and maybe I'm getting pinged and text all different ways. Maybe somebody's like, "Hey boss, we were trenching out here and we just hit a pipe." That's not good. All right, let me send you a text. Let me see a video of it. Stand right there. Okay, I'm recording it and I'm still back in my office. Now I've sent that to insurance, that video to insurance. I've sent it to my customer saying, "Hey, here's why our budget just changed and why our timeline just changed." Well, meanwhile, while that's happening, maybe I get another text like, "Hey boss, I got the final walk around, oh, well, let me just send you can just send them a text message, say, "Hey, take a video of the final walk around, send."
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have to be on the other end. Now the tech gets a text and they tap it and they're doing the final walk around and it goes up to the cloud. And then in your third scenario, maybe those guys have an internal QR code and they already know to do the final walk around. They don't even need to text the call by call person. They just scan the QR code, take the video of the after, and it goes right to the cloud. Yeah. So you're starting to be able to be in multiple places, multiple things, prioritizing.
I can see it. I can see how the same situation, probably one opportunity, you could probably use it about 4 or 5 different ways, honestly. I can really see how this could be a real core part of the business, honestly. And I can see how I'm already figuring. I mean, I've even because we do this call by call training class every single month, and I'm like, dude, I got to get this into my training. I got to get this. I'm already in the. Listen, I don't even know what it is, but how much it costs or anything like that. But I already can tell it will pay for itself already. That definitely is a fact.
It's really inexpensive. And then the other piece to note too is if you use a platform like Service Titan or Jobber, we're already under the hood. We're in their marketplace already. We have thousands of users. So live videos, we're only one of 4 companies in the world that do this type of communications platform, which is why you don't already see it under the hood of the Service Titans, because video is incredibly hard and challenging. So we're under the hood. So if you can just it's already bolted there. So you can use us on anything too. It can be on
That's
phone,
really great.
a tablet, a computer, and anywhere. But yeah.
Thank you for listening and watching the Service MVP podcast. I want to give you a copy of my free book. Just click on the link below in the description and one will be sent to you from me personally. Thank you so much for listening.